basically 4 things I want to cover tonight to do with rolling stock and getting them running well. Talk about wheels, trucks, couplers, and car weight. And between the 4 of them, they'll contribute to having rolling stock that runs well and doesn't derail or uncouple too often. First thing is, I don't know how many of you use one of these optivisors, but which simply fits over your head, and if you wear glasses, you can simply wear it over the top and flip it down to work. But I find it's extremely useful for working on rolling stock or doing anything, because you're looking through both eyes for a start. You're not squinting through a magnifying glass, and it keeps both hands free. The only problem is that when you're working down here and you want to reach something over there, it goes all blurry and you can't see it, so you've got to flip it up. But they do work extremely well. Tom uses one, and I'm not sure what about $30 I think these things are.
At Hobby Junction, yeah. About that.
Oh, they got them at Hobby Junction?
Yeah, or Renault Depot as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I bought mine on a place on Côte d'Neige that specialises in all sorts of optical equipment. But they're extremely useful, and I use them for assembling kits and all that sort of thing. They are very handy, even handier as our eyesight deteriorates. Okay, wheels to start with. We've been through this debate about metal wheels and plastic wheels a number of times, and I think that one of these discussions that was on the web, I think even there it was sort of inconclusive. Most people think metal wheels keep the, they don't get dirty, they keep the track cleaner, and they do make the cars roll better, and they sound better as well, which is an incidental benefit. But there are still some people who are not convinced that they do contribute to dirtying the track. But I have in fact got, you want to pass those around, you can see, I mean, that these ones are dirty. There's a layer of grey scum, grey, yeah, grey, crud, gunk, scum, whatever you want to call it, on the wheels, and it gets spread around the track and contributes to poor conductivity, which means that you've got to keep cleaning the track, and you've got to keep cleaning the wheels as well. The best way to get that off, and you can do it with the wheel set on the car, and that's simply to use a small screwdriver and hold the screwdriver against the tread of the wheel, and just rotate rotate the opposite wheel, and the screwdriver will scrape most of the crud off the wheel tread. But the best thing to do after is to take the wheels out and clean them with Goo Gone or something like that. Because it'll get the sort of final residue off the wheel, and if the Goo Gone gets spread around the track, it probably doesn't do any harm. It probably helps to keep the track clean. So it's not too difficult a job to clean them. If you've got a lot of cars in it, yes, it becomes a time-consuming chore. So I mean, it's another benefit of putting metal wheels on, is you don't have to do that too often. So metal wheels are strongly recommended, but yeah, plastic ones are okay as long as you keep them clean. Second thing with wheels is to make sure that the wheels are in gauge. I don't know how many of you have got one of these NMRA standards gauges, but there's 2 little notches on the side which allow you to check the wheel gauge, and And I got some, you know, if you want to try it, I've got some samples here, some of which are too narrow, some are too wide, and there's one set which are in gauge. If they're not in gauge, you can adjust them simply by pushing or pulling and twisting at the same time. You can move the wheels. You can move the wheels along the axle, and you simply, you know, simply by trial and error, you can get them in gauge. They should, the treads, sorry, the flanges should drop into the little notches on the side of the gauge. And yeah, I think this one. Yeah, this one it doesn't drop in. The gauge is too narrow, so it won't fit in between the two notches. And say you can simply by gripping them and sort of twisting and pulling, you can move the. No, that's good. I moved that one too far. You can move them. Some of them are a bit reluctant to move, and you need quite a bit of force to get them to move. But you can do it, and so that's the second thing. The other problem, so generally, yeah, the only problem, say, is with the plastic wheels is the dirt, and with the plastic wheel sets is making sure that the wheels are in gauge. Even the metal ones, this you know, I check them all before I install them to make sure that they are in gauge. The metal ones are usually okay, but some of those even are out of gauge. The other thing which sometimes happens, if you notice a car is wobbling as it goes down the track, it could be that one of the wheels is slightly eccentric. In other words, it's not properly centered on the axle. The way to check for that is to simply turn the car upside down and spin the wheels and see if one of them in fact is a bit off center. If that's the case, the only thing you can do is discard that wheel set and put another one on. There's really, unless you want to go to the trouble of pulling the wheel off the axle, plugging up the hole and re-drilling it, but it's not really worth it. So the only solution there really is to discard them and put another wheel set on.